Hey everybody, Dom Nicastro here, managing editor at CMSWire, with our latest CMSWire contributor interview. I'm happy to have Greg Kihlstrom on and Chad Solomonson. Chad's brand new to the audience.
Hello, welcome. Hey.
Greg's an OG, as the kids say. We know all about Greg and his work in marketing, customer experience. But Chad, I want to give you the floor before we get into the topic of composable here, which is a great topic, very timely. Tell us about yourself, Chad, what you're focused on professionally lately.
Yeah, so I've been in marketing and technology for the last 30 years, kind of balancing how people are going to market, how they're leveraging technology to enter new markets and be able to influence customers and understand kind of changing buying habits of customers. I'm currently the Chief Customer Officer at RDA, which is a digital consultancy that really helps customers figure this out and build a vision of how they can be successful.
So Chad, 30 years ago, you started in the marketing technology arena. According to Scott Brinker's graphic, there might not have been any marketing technology back then, because in 2011, it said he started with 150. So
right.
in the late 90s, how many MarTech solutions were there then? Like 2?
I think maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of monoliths too.
Exactly. And monoliths will be infused in this discussion today, because what we're doing is talking about this article here that you guys co-authored. Thank you for sharing that with CMSWire today. And the gist of that is kind of centered around the topics in your book, the composable roadmap and action plan for agility in a modern digital marketplace. So Greg, let's open up with you. Like, who's the audience here for that book? Tell me about the effort to get the book going, and why should this audience be paying attention to the themes in that book?
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I mean, Chad and I have known each other and worked together for a while now on various things. And, you know, as this conversation about composable has just, you know, it's not brand new as of today, but like it's been growing and over time, and really there's momentum behind it. So, you know, we just decided to put together something that, you know, as with anything, you know, we're going through this with AI. We've gone through this with many other things. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of talk in very hypothetical terms, but we really wanted to put something together that was actionable and practical. And it's geared towards those marketers out there that, you know, they're working side by side with technology teams and data teams, but they really need to understand not only the benefits, but some of the steps in the process to get some of the benefits that I know we'll talk about, you know, in a minute here, get some of these benefits out of a composable architecture so that they can really, you know, they're tasked with delivering higher and higher numbers and delivering greater and greater customer satisfaction. So there's some ways in here using a composable approach to get that and help achieve those results in better ways. And so, you know, wanted to put something together to help marketers, you know, whether that's marketing leaders or marketing operations and others really, you know, kind of grasp that and move forward.
Yeah, at the center of the sort of, I guess, if you want to call it a debate, and we know which side which vendors are on. If you're a monolith vendor, you're on the monolith side. If you're composable and new and startup you're on the composable side. But talk about that. Let's go to Chad on this one. Talk about the difference, like, between these traditional monolith systems. When you say monolith, it sounds like a big monster coming at you or something. But like, let's break it down in the simplest terms possible. What's the difference between a monolith marketing technology system and one that prides itself on composable architecture?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's the classic saying that every company is becoming a technology company, and when you make a decision for your company, it's based on, you know, what bets that infrastructure is going to bring back to you. What are the benefits? And when you bet on one vendor, you're really relying on the ability to move based on their feature and functionalities. So if a disruption happens, like COVID, or if, you know, a buying change happens with your customers that is sudden, then you may not have that infrastructure to react fast enough. And that's where this debate really kind of started heating up. I think it was post-COVID. There was a lot of companies that couldn't take advantage of e-commerce. They had a distribution channel, maybe through distributors or other means, and they didn't have the feature set to be able to go quickly direct, or they didn't have the feature set to have that type of experience more digitally, and hurt them. And so the ones that reacted faster, or maybe were more agile, were more composable, or maybe had the ability to add feature sets or solutions. So that's where you start to see the difference. Composable in its nature is about flexibility. And where everyone is aiming right now in every solution is speed. Customers, we all want something now. We want it 5 minutes ago. And so that's how customers are reacting. And if their solutions aren't adhering to that, then they're going to look elsewhere. So it's, speed is the name of the game right now, and flexibility, being able to have that, is where composability plays in.
Yeah. Greg, I mean, I can name a bunch of vendors that were on the monolith sort of track, but have still been really successful in terms of customers. Why is that the case? If composable is such the way to go, it's flexibility, speed, it sounds so great, the promise of it. Why have some of these monoliths still been in business, right? They should be out of business if you listen to the composable argument.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to make one decision versus 10 decisions. So I mean, that's certainly some of this comes down to procurement. It comes down to the difficulty of making decisions and just that buying process. And so that's one reason why it's not a great reason for the customers suffer for that in many cases, because they're not getting the best experience. But on the internal workings of an organization, if it's a hurdle to get through procurement with one vendor, imagine getting through it with 4, 5, 6 vendors. And I think there are some misconceptions about complexity and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I mean, I think organizations do need to change the way they think about adopting platforms and vetting them and everything to be more agile. To what Chad was saying, to be able to be nimble and adapt to these things, there does need to be a bit of a mindset shift.
Yeah. And I in covering Scott, we mentioned Scott Brinker earlier in the marketing technology landscape. We had a conversation, and one of his key findings in his super graphic, super MarTech graphic this year, where they had over 14,000 MarTech solutions, was people are using composability on top of those central systems. So if your marketing automation system can't get you to the finish line, this agile startup brand can. And I actually saw that in person at the Adobe Summit. There was this classic marketing automation system that Adobe rolls out that everyone knows, right? Marketo.
Right.
And I was watching a demo of this fancy, awesome looking startup that integrates on top of that. And Brinker was saying that's the reality now for a lot of brands. And it's not leading to complexity. It's not leading to governance problems. It's actually controlling governance, controlling costs, he was shocked to hear that. Because, Chad, isn't it like the opposite should be true? The more you layer on these monolith systems, isn't the more expensive and more governance problems you should have, shadow IT and all that?
I mean, that's what you would think. The challenge is that a lot of these, the monoliths they're having to retain their market share. So they are looking to build ecosystems that are more flexible. They are having to build architectures themselves that open up opportunities for other companies. And they may end up buying them, and they may end up integrating them in. But the more they make their systems easier to engage with, is going to protect them long term as well.
Yeah. And Greg, give me an example of like a hypothetical on how you can successfully, if you want to make that shift from, okay, we got a really large monolith system and composable sounds good for us. It really does. We've done the work, we've done the business use cases, and how can we be successful with that move to implement more composability into our existing stack? Well, what do you need for success there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to use an example, I think like e-commerce is a great example to use, because how many times have you gone to, have an e-commerce experience that literally looks like the last one you went to from some other completely unrelated brand, right? So there's a lot of sameness out there. So the brands in that space that are standing out, they're incorporating different ways, everything from like search and discovery to, some, ways, other things down the chain, so to speak. So to do that, I mean, really, some of this stuff, it sounds like common sense, but it's, look at this from the customer experience and figure out, okay, well, our system, if we were to use it just vanilla out of the box, whatever, it's going to look like everyone else's e-commerce, to use that example, everyone's e-commerce experience. But what if we designed an experience that was tailored to our brand and felt like our brand? Everything from the first time you see a product to the way it gets to your door essentially can be customized by using best of breed, by using composable, and also, to go back to the previous point, relying on some, maybe there is a central system that you rely on for some things, but picking the right tools at the right place to actually enhance that experience, and then relying on perhaps even a more monolithic system to be a core.
Yeah. And that all sounds great, Greg, but as you guys talk about in the book, you got to get leadership support.
Right.
Like, Chad, how do you even begin that discussion with leadership? Like, as a marketer leader saying, we need composability. Like, no CFO is going to say, okay, go ahead. How do you really get in there and get leadership to buy into this if you did want to make that move?
Yeah, so it definitely starts from the top. I think a lot of the leadership needs to understand that speed is going to be a critical part of their success. It's going to differentiate them long term. That they need to be able to have a very clear connection with the customer needs, and so being able to have the leadership of bringing more people around the departments together with a single vision. And so we talk a lot about North Star. We talk a lot about what do we need to evolve to be better for our customers, be faster, be more equipped, be more personalized. And so, having a North Star, somebody needs to own it, ideally. So again, I think the leadership's really going to be found in someone that can unify different departments. I do think as we get further into it and being able to allow for experimentation, I think that's a big topic when we start thinking about different types of customer experiences and testing other types of technologies to see, is this something that we can build from? Is this something that has momentum within our customer base that is growing? Is AI here going to unlock something of more value, bring maybe more to the bottom line? Ultimately, we can do something more efficiently. So, strong leadership with a vision that knows how to unify teams is what's needed.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get out of the conversation without AI being mentioned.
Nope, sorry, not allowed.
But Greg, going back to you, as a journalist, I'm skeptical of everything. So when I first heard about the composable movement, I just thought it was a vendor push to try to get smaller vendors trying to get customers away from the larger vendors. That's what I thought it was.
Right.
How do you respond to that if some marketers out there who marketers are very skeptical too, because they know what marketing spin is, because they do it. But what's the message to the marketers if they are skeptical of this just being a push from the vendors?
Yeah, I mean, I think as with any decision that a marketer or really anyone makes, that marketers need to make, it needs to be driven by real potential business results. And so, if you're not getting results that you want, or the customer experience that you want, or ROI that you want, all of those things from what you're currently using, there's a strong reason to not throw everything out and scrap it and start over, but to start to think of, okay, well, what if we could, in this one area, massively improve any of those things that I mentioned, or, potentially others. And I think that's also the way to get this done well within the enterprise, is to not think that we have to throw everything out and start from scratch, but to start thinking in terms of, let's just make each individual moment in that whether it's customer journey, buyer's journey. Let's make it amazing and make it the best it can be for both the customer as well as those internally working, towards delivering that customer experience. And if you think of it in that way, then yeah, there might be some really like cool tech out there that's like a one-off thing, not really aligned with strategy. Maybe that's not where you focus your efforts, as far as a composable approach goes. But I bet there's a piece or multiple pieces of the current customer journey in just about any organization that could really use some improvement. And some of those monoliths, they're just not addressing though. That's not really their job, is to address some of those micro things. And so I think that's where composable can start, and then it can grow from there if it makes business sense.
Yeah. All right, let's end on a future question, because that's what we usually do. What's ahead? I know in the book there must be some, hey, down the road, this is what a year looks like, maybe a couple years later. What can you expect ahead? So let's start with Chad and sort of get like what trends you think we'll see around composability versus monolith as we go forward here.
I mean, with Scott's kind of prediction, there's going to be consolidation. You're going to see a lot of vendors bringing on different types of capabilities, and that's always going to be the case, and it's going to be more accelerated, I think, in the next couple of years. And that's probably another case for composability. If you think about, someone you're working with bolts on a feature set that doesn't really map to what you're doing, and now you're kind of stuck with an option that doesn't really fit, and then you're back to square one of trying to rethink your plan. But the future is going to be AI, Dom, and I'm seeing it. It's everywhere. It's already disrupting all these players. It's everyone is either saying they're building capability around it or they have, and I think it's going to change this whole landscape in a very short period of time. So it's how does the company react to that? How do they take advantage of that? I think we're all watching it so closely, every day, and we're all experimenting with different tools that are coming out to see, gosh, is this a game changer? So I think AI is going to disrupt the space dramatically, and we just have to be really close to it.
We'll see if they can just get it right now, like the major players, because everybody's the major big guys. I can't believe how quickly OpenAI and ChatGPT upended the tech world, because everybody's rushing to roll things out now. You like Google AI overview. I know we're getting off topic, but Google AI overviews, I can't see the value add in that. And it's, it's producing things like, yeah, you should eat rocks only once a day or something like that. Just because someone on the internet said it,
Right.
AI takes it as, legit. So,
Right.
But Chad, great thoughts on the future. Greg, what would be your future predictions, thoughts, trends on centering around composable versus monolith?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the big players, the monoliths, are going to continue to become more able to integrate with other composable platforms, and I also think the interoperability is going to increase, and it's going to get easier and easier for one system to plug into. If you think of the Lego brick scenario, like, it's going to become easier and easier. And as we're seeing, in AI and other areas too, it's like it's going to be more and more democratized, so that this is all headed towards software engineers are always going to be valuable and invaluable, but this is headed towards a world where marketers and other non-technical users are going to be able to plug and play a lot more easily. That may be a few years down the road, but I think that's where this composable trend is headed. And I think that's super exciting, because it means monoliths get to focus on being really, really great at a core set of functionality. Composable platforms can be great at very narrow things. Marketers get to be marketers, but not have to rely on a lot of technical support in some areas. So I mean, that seems like a win-win-win.
Yeah. Well, the book is The Composable Roadmap, an action plan for agility in a modern digital marketplace. Did ChatGPT write the name of that book title?
No, we did that one.
Humans did that.
Awesome.
I know we can use our brains once in a while. But gentlemen, thank you. CMSWire contributors, Greg Kihlstrom, Chad Solomonson. And Chad, I'm putting you on the spot right now. you need to start writing for us yourself because you're in the books. You're officially.
I've already started drafting some stuff down. It's coming your
All
way.
right. You're in. You're in. Doors open.
Awesome.
Gentlemen, good luck with the book. Actually, Greg, did you want to give a shout out to people? I know we'll have this is in the article as well, but how to get the book.
Yeah, definitely. So two things. You can go to the composableroadmap.com or you can find it on Amazon.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Chad, safe travels.
Thanks, Paul.
And we'll be in touch. I appreciate you joining us on CMSWire.
Thanks for the time. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye now.